The second thing is actually, what do you offer? What's your unique selling points? So once you know actually what your unique selling point is.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing Madrassah. We're your hosts Omar and Saif, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about what are some key things Muslim influencers should know in order to kind of climb up on the ladder to work with mainstream brands.
I think there's a few considerations, and I think when it comes to mainstream brands, it's very different to working with small businesses, because mainstream brands, they have a lot of guidelines that you need to be considerate of. So how do you actually catch the attention of a mainstream brand? How will they actually recognize you? It starts with being consistent. Actually utilize your social platforms and utilize them consistently. So post every day. If you're on YouTube and you're producing YouTube videos, post them once a week maybe, perhaps. And actually utilize your platform in a consistent manner through actual high quality content as well. There's no point just posting average content, because these are mainstream brands, the likes of Nike, the likes of Adidas, Rubicon. They want to work with influencers that deliver high quality. So it's important that you have those considerations. So the second thing is, what is your unique selling point? You need to know what you offer and what makes you unique. There's millions of influencers out there. Even within the Muslim influencer marketing sector, there's thousands upon thousands of influencers now, and every day more and more influencers are actually being born. So you need to know what's unique about you and demonstrate that through your feed, utilizing high quality content. Once you actually showcase that to a brand, you might do that through your bio, you might do that through your content. It might be video content, which allows you to showcase more personality. Once you've done that, a brand then knows, okay, if I'm a fashion brand, I can go to this influencer because they're a fashion blogger. Or if I'm a sports brand, I can go to this influencer because they're a sports blogger. That way, a brand in particular knows how they can utilize you. They know what you offer to them. So that's really important that you have that consideration. The third thing is, don't post controversial content. Don't post anything that may jeopardize your chances of working with a large brand. One of the most important things, if not the most important thing to a brand, is their reputation. So they don't want to work with an influencer that could potentially bring that into disharmony. An example of this is the way L'Oreal, saw Amina Official's content. Unfortunately, they saw that as controversial, or saw that as being kind of disruptive to their brand reputation. As such, they had to cease working with her. And that's one of the things we just have to, as Muslim influencers, you have to make sure that you're taking those things into consideration. Brands are a lot more sensitive to how people respond and what influencers put out there. So those are the things that I'd be considerate of when it comes to posting content. Make sure it's not controversial. The fourth thing, and one of the most important things when working with large organizations, is communication. Communication is key. If you're useless at responding to emails, if you're not getting back to brands in a timely manner, then why should they trust you to invest in you? Why should they want to work with you? Because you're not valuing them. They've come out to you, they've come and said to you, we want to work with you. And if you're not responding in that kind of respectful and in a manner that is appropriate timescale wise to that brand, then you could potentially lose out on that opportunity. And that's one thing that I think influencers have to take into consideration. The fifth and the final tip I'd like to share is, when it comes to actually influencer marketing, in particular Muslim influencers, you need to make sure that the content you distribute is actually in line with that brand, with what that brand has asked. So really trying to understand their brief. So especially larger organizations, they'll come with you and they'll say to you, we want this, this and this, and they're going to financially remunerate to you most likely. So then you need to take that advice or take that brief and actually deliver content in line with that brief. Because the last thing that brand wants to see is kind of, you've gone off brand guidelines, tone of voice, you've not actually communicated what they wanted from you through that post or that particular kind of relationship. And that's really detrimental to your chances of working with other brands as well, because the world's a small place, especially larger organizations. People do talk. So you need to make sure that you've got that in place where you understand their brief and you deliver what's asked of you.
Okay, thank you very much, Saif, for those key insights. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a comment below if you benefited or if you have any feedback. Until next time, see you soon.